Computer, security override.
I strongly object to being placed in this position. The station's advocates
approach. Right now, Commander. This is an informal hearing, an attempt to clarify this matter before we contact the Dominion and cause a diplomatic crisis. Bringing in the advocate's office transfers this out of our hands into the diplomatic corps. Their easiest solutions will be the finding of a scapegoat, regardless of merit or fact.
If you just want to protect your captain...
There will be no protecting of anyone. Our surest course is to establish the facts with no biased conclusions. We will let things fall where they may.
How can you expect me to serve with a man once I've tried to indict him for murder?
If he's indicted, that won't be a problem.
And if he is not, I'm sure he'll appreciate that you were simply doing your job, Commander. This is not a witch hunt. Simply a search for the truth.
Please call your first witness, Commander Shelby.
I'd like to question Security Chief Martinez.
The tribunal recognizes Lieutenant William Martinez.
Mr. Martinez, briefly describe the events leading up to the incident in question.
The Excelsior had been assigned to the testing of a new weapons system. The rulers of the Dominion, the Founders, had offered assistance to the Federation in defending against the Grey.
In what way, Lieutenant?
Because of your betazoid physiology, this device will help you interact with the Grey ethereal plane.
And theoretically control their ships and soldiers. Yes, we've read the briefing, Mr.
Names are not necessary. I have another device, should these modifications prove unsatisfactory. This patrol area was selected for Grey activity. I would have expected by now that...
A single Grey battleship. It folded 7,000 kilometers to port.
Red alert! Raise shields and target their weapon systems.
I have them, Commander.
McFarland, plot us a course out of here. What are you doing to her?
So the captain was showing hostility towards the Founder from the beginning.
I only saw the captain on the bridge. He showed concern for his crew member.
Wasn't there also a further altercation?
We don't need to get sidetracked here. Continue, please, Mr. Martinez.
What happened next, Lieutenant?
Nothing we noticed at first, until we realized that the Grey vessel hasn't moved to attack us, Captain. They appear to be moving off at impulse.
Excellent. We were not sure it would work so well. You seem minimally harmed. Our research on your people has borne fruit.
Are you finished here?
Again, the captain antagonized the Dominion ambassador.
We all reacted to the Founder's words.
Indeed. It sounds as if the captain was very restrained in his interactions with the Founder. I know I would have been hard-pressed to hold my tongue for very...
You weren't found over the body with a phaser.
You were saying, Miss Shelby?
Lieutenant, please continue.
That's all I have at this time.
I beg your pardon?
I hadn't completed my investigation when this tribunal was called.
But you have the security recording and phaser. Surely there has been time to complete the medical inquiry.
No sooner did our doctor receive the remains than we were called here.
We had the surveillance recording, Lieutenant. I've seen it. We have the DNA evidence.
Out of context. We should infer nothing.
You will offer evidence, Lieutenant, and leave the inferences to the tribunal. Produce the tape.
Something about the Dominion devices disrupts our scanners. Another reason why we should not place too much
Noted. Please identify what we're seeing.
The captain has picked up the second alien device. The first appears to be in the container with the founder.
Lieutenant, what did the preliminary examination of the phaser reveal?
The phaser was set to level 3, heavy stun.
How can that be? I just saw that blast kill the founder.
No, ma'am, you did not. A phaser set any higher would have killed the founder and destroyed the container. I tried to tell you, the investigation was incomplete.
How long?
I can't give you an exact time, Commander.
I need you to give me something, Lieutenant, other than obstruction.
Everyone, take a step back, please. I suggest we give Mr. Martinez 2 hours. I think we can all use a break right about now.
I agree. We shall reconvene in 2 hours.
So, when did they swap him forward with the morgue? Boy, well, I don't know how you expect me to keep up my end of the conversation when you run off at the mouth.
I've only got a few minutes, and I'm sitting around like a first-year cadet waiting on test results.
Oh, I should have brought my violin. Look, Will, you're doing your job, and you're doing it the best way you know how. If Knapp killed...
He didn't.
How can you know that? Everything points towards him having
Only
done...
if you want him to be guilty. Look, his phaser was set to stun, the founder wasn't vaporized. That right there is
Proves what? He went into an ambassador's quarters with a weapon. And an ambassador ends up dead.
It's not that simple, Jenna.
Why can't it be that simple? Get up in the morning, do our jobs, we go home.
You don't follow your own advice, Ian. To take your analogy, you don't just go to work. You take 3 years of baggage with you.
This isn't about my brother.
Who are you trying to convince?
Because I'm just playing devil's advocate here. You know, this actually reminds me of the story that my Uncle Rufus used to tell.
I told Jennifer I was the wrong man for this job.
You can't use that as an excuse. You're a Starfleet captain. You can't let what happened to your brother drive your decisions. We need a refill.
I want to apologize. I'm sorry. I tried to get out of it.
What do you want from me?
I'm sorry that I place more stock in my duties and obligations than you find fashionable. And when an admiral tells me to do something, I feel it's my job to do it. I'm sorry that you've felt the need to push me out of your inner circle. I'm sorry that your attitude with Nechayev is coming back to haunt you, and that Pol's transparent attempts to let you skate are making you seem even more guilty.
If there's a question in there, Commander, why didn't you ask it? Ask what you want to ask.
This is a 6-foot rabbit with the red bow tie, says to my Uncle Rufus.
Did I kill the founder in cold blood? That's what you want to know. I'll show a little backbone and come on with it, shall we?
Your 2 hours are up, Lieutenant. Mr. Martinez has assured me that it will only take a short time longer for what he considers integral test results. In the interim, I would like to go back in the chain of events to that first meeting between the founder and Captain Knapp. I would like to question Commodore Cole.
You cannot depose a member of the tribunal, Miss Shelby.
I believe that I can, and should. You assigned the captain to this mission. You are a witness to the interactions between the captain and the founder at that first meeting. You are also intimately familiar with the captain's career during the Dominion War.
I object. We are concerned only with the events surrounding security recording.
And if something in Knapp's past contributed to a pattern of bias?
You've been searching for a pattern all day. It's irrelevant. We've heard testimony
Any evidence of prior misdeeds is prejudicial and inadmissible in this forum. However, directly related material, such as Knapp's first meeting with the founder, is directly relevant. I think the Commodore should be called.
Commodore, how would you characterize the captain's response to this assignment?
You want me to what?
He was intrigued.
He questioned your order?
He wanted more information.
Did he ask to speak with you privately?
He did.
And was the gist of this conversation that he did not want this assignment?
I don't want this assignment.
He did express concern that he might not be the right person for the job.
Did he give a reason?
No.
Are you aware of a reason? Something that he did not need to articulate?
This is beyond her scope. She's fishing now.
I think...
Agreed. Any further questions, Commander? Anything to add, Commodore Cole?
Yes, indeed. I would like to remind the Tribunal of Captain Knapp's outstanding service to the Federation and to Starfleet during the Dominion War. His ship single-handedly destroyed a major Ketracel White facility.
Rebuttal. The witness has brought in the captain's past as a character reference. I should now have the opportunity to impeach.
I think Admiral Nechayev and I are in agreement. You open this line of questioning, Commodore. You may continue, Commander Shelby.
Commodore, please relate to us the events surrounding Captain Knapp's leave of absence after the Cardassian transport incident.
I thought we'd have something by now. Shelby isn't going to wait around forever. The answer has to be here. These devices are key.
The one Knapp was using is a lost cause. Burns out after 2 uses. You can't make heads or tails out of these controls. Perhaps the recorders are implanted?
Bridge to Martinez?
Go ahead, Jenna.
Will? They're calling for you.
I'm on my way now. Martina's out. I'll stall if I can. Come if you have anything.
The captain is neither crazed nor overcome with rage. He made his peace with his brother's death and moved beyond it.
But, Counselor, you can't tell me that Captain Knapp wasn't a little more than just protective of you during the weapons test. I was there. I felt the animosity between them.
I was unaware of your telepathic gifts.
Body language and tone of voice can be good indicators of state of mind. Surely you can admit that?
I resent the implication that I would have to admit anything. In my professional opinion, Captain Knapp feels completely justified in his actions, and his value system is no more skewed than any of us. He knows the difference between right and wrong, and he's not deluding himself to which this incident was. He feels he made the right decision, and will accept the consequences.
I know it's taken me a long time to come around to this. Loeffler's Law number 36. You gotta go with what works.
So the truth is, we may never know definitively what went on.
Do you have anything further for this witness?
No. I would like to question Mr. Witzak. Mr. Witzak, you've been studying this device extensively during Mr. Martinez's investigation.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you come to any conclusion?
Yes, ma'am. We know this device was designed for betazoids, but we didn't know why. After further testing, I may have an answer. For the tribunal's sake, I'll give a little bit of background information. We know that most humanoids have latent telepathic abilities. Beyond it being more pronounced in betazoids, they also have an innate ability to control the separation between their conscious and unconscious desires, telepathically speaking.
In short, they have the ability to see thoughts the way they really are, not as they wish them to be.
Correct. With this device, humans, don't have that ability. We see what we want to.
I have nothing further for Mr. Witzak. I'd like to question Captain Ian Quincy Knapp. In your own words, Captain, please describe for the court the events on stardate 55294.3.
I was upset with the treatment of Counselor Elbury, and I wanted to lay down some ground rules with the Dominion ambassador. I thought I could see the device status lights blinking.
You thought it was active.
Yes.
You thought that the founder was contacting the Grey. That he was betraying the Federation.
Yes.
An alliance with you that will crush the Federation and her allies.
Bastard!
Your phaser was set to stun.
I wanted him dead.
For what he'd done?
For what they were about to do.
And because in the ethereal plane there are no private thoughts. It knew you wanted to kill it. So when you fired,
it believed itself dead. Knowing that its betrayal was being witnessed, it presumed you meant to kill it. Well then, that should about wrap things up.
Excuse me? What do we tell the Dominion?
Why, the truth, of course. Death by misadventure. Really, Admiral Nechayev, there can be no other finding. We can't very well tell them that their ambassador committed suicide with their own device, now can we?
Suicide?
The captain may have wanted him dead, but he did not trigger the kill setting on his phaser. The founder's device killed the founder. The founder died because he thought he was dead. This tribunal is dissolved. Come.
That device doesn't give up its secrets any more easily now than it did on the station. I'm sorry. I didn't do it because it was my job. And I didn't do it because I thought that you were guilty of something.
Are you trying to come clean, Commander? Are you trying to say you're concerned about your career and what being associated with a murder might do to it? My misperceptions, my bias and preconceived notions, my bigotry led to the death of a sentient being, Commander. I think it's time I take a hard look at what I believe and what I do in the name of those beliefs. I'm hardly in a position to throw stones.
What is it?
The irony of it, Elizabeth. The founders created this weapon to reveal the gray. Instead, it did more to reveal us, the human users. That revelation wasn't pleasant.